Hello there, Scorpio. Michelle B here. I'm going to give you a tarot reading for your next 12 days. I've got the Rider-Waite deck. I've got a few different decks that I use for looking at different perspectives. And I'm going to be talking about first what to embrace and what to leave behind for the next 12 days. And then I'm going to look at your abundance and prosperity, and then I'm going to look at your love messages. I've already pulled the cards for it. Then I'm going to finish off with an affirmation for the next 12 days. So first of all, I do want to point out that that in my preparation for getting ready to pull cards, I try to tune into your frequency, and I felt something that had to do with, like, I felt you saying, I'm not sure what their intentions are. I don't know what they're planning, what they're up to. So just know that I felt that, and that's something that came out in the love and connection part of the reading. So stay tuned for that if that message resonates with you in some way. I heard you. So first we're going to go on with a big overview of the 12 days. This is what you need to be focusing on, what to embrace. This is what I'm focusing on. I'm focusing on messages that are coming in regarding finances, regarding abundance and prosperity. And this is a positive vibration that's coming through with this card. It's like, as the snapshot that I get, like, this is what's happening at this moment. The snapshot that I get of what's happening at this moment, and then it's kind of moving toward the past, is that you've been putting a lot of work, a lot of energy into, like, steady, progressive energy into increasing your own prosperity and abundance, doing the things that need to be done in order to have the abundance reflected back to you. Kudos, bravo, good job. I'm really happy for you, Scorpio, and I'm seeing for the next 12 days that something is flowing back to you in a positive way, and you're like, wow, all of my efforts are actually panning out, and that's going to feel really good. What to leave behind for the last 12 days is a feeling that you're some kind of bad guy if you're not doing for other people. There are times when you do need to help people out. There's times when it feels really, really good to help people out. But I think in the recent past, it has not felt very good to help other people out. Perhaps they were asking too much from you, and it was your job. It was like, you didn't like it. Nobody likes to say no, especially emotionally centered people like Scorpios. Nobody likes to say no, but they needed to hear that no from you. You were the one that needed to give them a boundary, a limitation. Okay, so this is where I stop helping. And I'm sure that you have said it in a reasonable, respectful way. My kid's over there tippity tapping, sweetie. So that's all you can do, is just let it go. Right now is the time for you to be free of burdens and to be just going forward. Zal, quit that tapping. Just going forward and doing things for yourself. You can't really help other people unless you're doing a really good job helping yourself. So moving on to your abundance and prosperity. First thing I did was I took a snapshot of what's going on in your emotional and intellectual space. That's what I use these Solace Divinity cards for. So it's where it's all about just keeping to yourself, making plans, taking it easy, making plans, getting a really good perspective on how you're going to play the game in the near future. And so that's a really positive thing, but there is this hint of, I'm not sure if all of my hard work, all of my planning, all of my nose to the grindstone kind of energy, you're like, I'm not sure if it's going to play out. But remember that what to embrace card, here comes the Knight holding that pentacle that you're afraid won't come in. It is going to come in, okay? So that energy is there. So no worries. Keep up the good work. Don't think about where we put our intentions, we manifest, right? So if our intention is like, I just don't want to fail, I just don't want to fail, I just don't want to fail, then we're attracting that failure. We're making failure an option. If instead you're like, I love the work that I'm doing, I'm really excited about the prospect of being able to be this person that's doing this thing, then that's what we're going to manifest, is an exciting opportunity to do that thing that you're excited about. So keep your eye on that prize, my dear Scorpio. So a couple pieces of advice that I've got for your abundance and prosperity. Got 4 different cards that came up. I'll just show them to you real quick. We got the 5 of Cups, and along with that, I'm gonna pull up the 4 of Pentacles. I'm gonna put those 2 together, and then we've got these 2 beautiful ladies. There's the Strength card and the Empress. Those are major arcana. 3 of these cards resonate with your sister, your fixed sister sign, Taurus. So what I'm seeing is this fixed energy that's just like showing up and showing up and showing up. And it's like, it's reinforcing everything that I've been saying about being, setting your ego aside, setting that fear of failure aside. This isn't about whether or not I fail. This is about my contribution to the world, my contribution to the universe, right? And doing it in a way that makes me feel really good. Building myself, building my skill set, building my talents into something that feels really good and is beneficial to the rest of the world. So there's all that energy. It's like you put your ego aside. That's what Taurus is all about, is putting the ego aside and just showing up. It's the ox, right? That's the Taurus, is the bull, the ox that just shows up and plows the field day after day after day. It sounds boring, right? But you are building a foundation. Every stone that you carry and set in the framework is building you into something outstanding. And then you can chill. Once you have that built, that stable foundation built for yourself, you can chill. And once again, we have the 5 of Cups. It's like, am I going to regret this later? Am I going to regret all this effort that I've been putting into this work? I especially sense, like, am I going to regret the ties that I've cut, or the people that I've let down because I've had to focus on myself instead? Am I going to regret? It's very primal from, when we were infants in the womb. And sometimes we emotionally attach ourselves to people that may not be supporting us in the best way possible. And that hurts. That's really sad. That hurts that they're not supporting us. Because if they were being supportive, it wouldn't be a lot. There would be no loss here. Okay, so yeah, it hurts, but you're not necessarily being a bad person. Would you, if you're the people that you're worried about right now, if they needed to be able to do their own thing on their own, would you support them with that? That's an interesting thing to consider. You just got to do your own thing, send them light and love, and go do what you need to do. If they can't support you the way you need to be supported, you're better off just doing your own thing. Don't be hateful. Don't be angry. Just the best thing you can do is not think about it. That's the best thing you can do, and just say, I love me, I love me, I love me, I love me. I'm doing the best for me, and I will be of greater service to everyone if I can finish this thing that I'm working on. Okay. Now, finally, let's look at your love messages. If these messages aren't resonating with you, then make sure and check out your rising, your moon, your Mars, your Venus signs. Look at your birth chart and check out those readings and see if they resonate better, because different parts of our chart will light up at different times of our lives, will be more meaningful, like be more present in our lives at different times in our lives. And also, it could be that these messages aren't resonating with you now, but they might very soon, okay? They might in 7 days, they might resonate a little bit better. So let's go over to that love and connection, as I was saying. Remember I was talking about you not being sure if you can trust someone, not being sure, like it's like there's something you can sense, but you can't put your finger on it, right? And there's this energy, whether you're in a relationship right now, whether you're dating or whether you're not. If everything's hunky-dory and perfect for you, you wouldn't be interested in this reading at all. So I'm going to assume that things are not hunky-dory for you right now. Wherever you are on the relationship spectrum, there's this energy of like all or nothing, right and wrong, the binary aspects of this is the right way to do things, this is the wrong way to do things, and things have to be fair, right? So there's somebody that you don't, like you feel like things aren't totally fair with, and you want to look out for yourself, right? You're being asked to not just hold out and feel suspicious. You're being asked to do something. The Hangman is in the reverse. This is the upright Hangman. So, which is funny because the Hangman in the reverse is upright. But you're being asked to not, like if recently you've been like just holding back and like being in a holding pattern because you're not sure what to do, something doesn't feel right. You're being asked to do something. Now this could be speaking up about your feelings in a respectful manner and in not an attacking manner. It's like, when I see this thing happening, I feel this, and I want to be able to talk about it. And this is the kind of feeling that I would like to have when I'm in connection with you. So you're being asked to just like get it out there, and remember that in the universe, there is no such thing as right or wrong. Right or wrong is good and bad is a human construct. So we have to be a little bit more open-minded for your advice. We have 2 8s. They came up in reverse when they came up. The 8 of Cups and the 8 of Swords, which are saying, don't do, even though it's asking you to take some action, don't do it in a brash way. Like, I'm just like, fuck this, I'm just out of here. If I don't understand what this person's up to, they're not giving me any clear answers, I'm just walking away. Instead of just taking off, remember that you have more options than to just sit tight and not say anything, or just walking away. You have more options than that. You're not bound by just the 2 things that you could possibly do. You're not bound by right and wrong, good and bad. There's a huge swath of options for you to have. I feel like your intuition's telling you a lot. Your intuition is telling you that something is amiss, for sure. Your intuition is telling you that something's not quite right, but just as much as it's something that's not quite right with the person that you're thinking about, it's something that's not quite right with you as well. Your lack of ability to trust, stemming from your lack of confidence in yourself. Your thinking that you're not worthy of being loved, being afraid of being abandoned. Those are all there also. Okay, those are all things that are making things like the people that we're connecting with are reflecting how we feel about ourselves. Through our perspective is seeing a reflection of how we feel about ourselves. So if you're like, this person isn't acting right, they might be just thinking about their own thing, and they're not really thinking that much about you, except that you're acting weird too, right? So it can be like something that's a misunderstanding of emotional vibration between 2 people. Your intuition, which is in the last card that I pulled of this set, it's the center card. It's just like, this is trumping everything. It was on top of all the other cards and it just trumped everything. Is using your spirit, your soul, your intuition is telling you what the real thing is. And I really feel like for most of you, there are going to be a few exceptions where you're like, this is not healthy, and you have to just like do what you can to get to like move away from that situation. There's going to be a few of those, but for the most part, you're gonna be like, you know, I do love this person. I do feel a deep connection, that even though things are really weird right now, I feel a deep connection. I'm not ready to just let it go. But I think it starts with you becoming more vulnerable, addressing what your baggage is, addressing where your fears are, and becoming more vulnerable to them as a start. Just like take a step forward. Open that door just a little bit and take a step forward into the realm of vulnerability with them and see if they join you. Then go from there. Just little baby steps. See if they join you in your realm a little bit into revealing a little bit more of themselves. And if they don't, then you can make your decisions from there. But you're asked to take action, but don't just jump straight to right and wrong, good and bad. Okay. All right, so let's close everything out with an affirmation for you. I got these wholeness cards from the Salvage Sawhorse. I freaking love them. They're so wholesome. Wholeness. The wholeness cards are wholesome, and they always have really good messages for those of us who want to live in infinite connection and bring abundance of not just money, abundance of a feeling of wholeness with the universe. Wow, my thoughts come and go freely. They do not define me. Now, I feel like this is really important for you because there is quite a bit of anxiety hovering around your vibration, Scorpio. There's anxiety around whether or not you're disappointing loved ones because you can't do everything for them. There's anxiety around whether or not you're going to be successful in the work that you're doing. There's anxiety around whether or not your connection with somebody is going to pan out or whether you need to let them go, right? Just because you have these anxious thoughts does not mean that there's something wrong. It doesn't mean there's something wrong with you, and it doesn't mean that there's something wrong with the world around you. They're just thoughts. They're just your brain chattering. Take a deep breath and look around and ask, is there really anything wrong right now? Probably not. You're probably okay. There's a pretty good chance you're doing all right now. So my love, your thoughts are not who you are. You are an infinite being. Infinite love, infinite gratitude, infinite joy. This is where I leave off. Scorpio, I love you, and I'll see you in 12 days.